New York State is leading a massive antitrust investigation into Facebook, and it's joined by 7 other states and Washington, D.C. The bipartisan coalition of attorneys general is looking into the social media giant's market dominance and potential anti-competitive conduct. This is the latest in a string of troubles for Facebook. There are other investigations already underway, and some Democratic presidential candidates have called for Facebook to be broken up. For more, let's bring in cybersecurity analyst Scott Schober via Skype from New Jersey. Scott, so how bad is this for Facebook, which is already facing a separate antitrust investigation by the U.S. Trade Commission? If you were a Facebook executive, let's say, how worried would you be?
Well, certainly they're concerned. The last thing that Facebook wants to have happen is that they be chopped up. If you go back almost 20 years, look at what happened with Microsoft when DOJ went after Microsoft for antitrust problems that they had packaging Windows with Internet Explorer. It was a big problem. Bill Gates didn't do too well. It ended up in many fines. But ultimately, Microsoft didn't get chopped up. And that's the same thing. Mark Zuckerberg doesn't want Facebook chopped up. They would rather be fined because they could make up billions of dollars of fines in simply just in their stock price jumping up in one day. So the goal is here that maybe they'll get a finger pointed at them. They'll pay another fine, $1 billion or several $1 billion, and hopefully the problem will go away. That's what Facebook would love.
Scott, the investigation is expected to determine whether Facebook has stifled competition and put users at risk. I want to focus on the competition part for a second here. Companies like Google, Amazon, Microsoft that you mentioned, maybe Facebook, are monopolies, right, in a way, but they became such because we, the users, have given them the power to be ones in the lack of a better alternative. They didn't become monopolies by the states. So what's the problem with having them as big as they are if we are choosing to use them every day?
Well, part of the big problem, and that's really what underlies in this investigation, they're specifically looking at advertising prices, the data and the consumer privacy that's been compromised and continues to be compromised, as well as looking at some of the previous acquisitions. Because when we talk about Facebook, let's not forget they also acquired Instagram. They also acquired WhatsApp. You're talking about a lot of users, 1.6 billion users for Facebook. You look at WhatsApp, 1.5 billion users, and Instagram just broke 1 billion users. Facebook had a big problem. They were losing the younger generation. Where did they go? They went to Instagram. 71% of users for Instagram are what? Under 35 years old. So now they've got this huge monopoly, and they can target and steer advertising dollars very specifically at certain generations. So it's a huge problem. What are we giving up? All of us, we're giving up our privacy and our personal data. That's what they're using and selling to advertisers. So this is really having much larger impacts, not just for Facebook, but even other tech giants, as you mentioned there. Apple, Google, Amazon, they're all very guilty of very similar things. So I think it's good that they're investigating this, and it's going to be interesting how this all unfolds very soon.
Scott Schober, we appreciate your perspective. Thanks for joining us.